Hey all, welcome back to Neon's Movie Reviews. I'm Neon and this is my buddy Nate. And today we are talking about Predestination. Now, we are going to talk about non-spoilers first.
Very briefly.
Yes, there's not much to talk about. This is a
Not
film.
much I want to talk about. I mean, maybe
Well,
we
yes,
could,
we probably could, but yeah, this is a film that's best to go in unspoiled. I will say that it's a time travel movie that revolves around two characters sitting in a bar, talking, telling their life stories to one another. And where the story goes from there is and what develops within those stories is why this film is so interesting and very daring. I would argue as well. But to kind of give you an idea of the movie you're anticipating, I would say expect Gattaca meets 12 Monkeys with a little bit of Looper. And you kind of have an idea of what you're in for. But I would highly recommend this film. For me, I would give this a 4.5 out of 5. Like, this is a near perfect time travel movie for me.
this movie is amazing. Movie came about because Neon was asking me what kind of movie do we want to do next, and I said, well, I'm looking for something sci-fi. Okay, well, what can you narrow it down, like sci-fi horror? And it's like, I want a movie that's gonna make me think. I want something like Gattaca. I was like, but not Gattaca.
Right.
And he was like, I have just the movie.
Predestination.
And it was Predestination.
This fucking movie.
The cast is all
Yeah.
super on point.
Yeah. Like, not a lot of people you like. It's Ethan Hawke and Noah Taylor, and then this girl I've never seen anything else, Sarah Snook.
I know her from watching on HBO. I'm drawing a blank for right now. The series with Brian Cox.
Oh, the family one.
Right.
I know that. Yeah, I know the series you're talking about. I'm blanking on the name of it.
Totally blanking on the name. Sorry, HBO.
Great show.
Yes, I absolutely love every character in that series as well. But that was the only thing I knew her from. I know she's Australian.
Mm-hmm.
She's just
fantastic.
I don't know, as close of a perfect performance in a movie,
yeah,
as you can have.
Oh yeah.
It was
fantastic, dude. Like,
I don't even want to say anymore because I want to start talking about the movie. I just can't. But great movie. 4 3/4 stars. Like, no movie's perfect. Yeah, maybe like a 4.8. Like,
it's right there.
anything that I would say bad about this movie is strictly nitpicky.
Yeah. And even then, it's
As a
you might be able to go back and notice. Oh wait, never mind.
yes. Having only watched the movie once, I could be wrong about some of my nitpicky stuff. Even I'm not even going to discuss nitpicky things in the review.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Great movie, cerebral.
Fucking. Well, you said best to me.
Theatrical.
You said it was gripping. That was the best.
Riveting.
Riveting. No, that's what it was.
I don't use that word often because I think it's so overused.
Yeah,
It's
especially
riveting.
in reviews.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely riveting. And most things that are described that way don't end up feeling that way to me. This was from literally 30 seconds into this movie, I could not wait to see what was going to happen and what was the next sentence?
Yeah.
What was the next words coming out of people's mouth? I wasn't even thinking to the next scene.
Right.
And
the first time I watched this same, dude, I was just captivated, just right from the get-go. I was just like, I have no idea where this is going, and I'm so on board. Like, right off the bat, you took me off my feet, and don't know where you're going. Mm-hmm. And every chance they could, whatever, it was like, oh, okay, I think I'm figuring this out. Okay, maybe this is gonna go. Nope. Okay, all right, you threw another curve. Okay, I'm not prepared for that, but I'm on board. Let's keep going.
It would be like if you could ride a roller coaster that was from Orlando to Miami. Okay, that long of a roller coaster, blindfolded. So you'd just be like, oh, that was awesome. What could possibly be next? And it lasts that long. You know, I mean, it's not quite a 3-hour movie, though. You know,
No.
Miami's about a 3-hour drive for us, but it's not quite a 3-hour movie. But that much of it, just what's next?
Yeah. No, this It was a 10-course meal with your eyes closed. Like, what's going next? But you're not gonna close your eyes ever once in this film. This movie's fucking great.
Don't do what I did when I first watched Akira, and that was I was doing laundry, and I was coming in and out of the room. Every time I came back, from changing the what the fuck is going on in the movie now? Rewind the VCR back in the VCR.
Yeah.
Or take it out and put it in the little race car that you can push down and rewind.
Oh, that was.
But
yes.
In any event, yes, please don't leave the room.
No, be prepared for this movie's runtime.
You have to take your attention away. I'm not saying that you need to hang on every detail.
No.
Just for entertainment value, for enjoyment of this movie, if you have to divert your attention, just give it a quick pause.
Mm-hmm.
Just come back to it.
You don't want to miss the moments in this film. Not because you're not going to understand things if you don't, right. But yeah, you personally will not want to miss these moments.
You are not going to want to take your eyes off of
everything.
In certain scenes, there are certain characters within that scene that you're just like, please don't change.
Yeah.
Don't change scenes. Don't do anything different. I want to stay here. Mm-hmm. I want to stay right here. Great movie.
Yeah. No, let's... All right, we're done with non-spoilers. We are going full into spoilers. And please, if you have not seen this movie... Yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
But yeah, this... All right. So this movie, dude. Sarah Snook. Let's start with her. Let's start with her in the bar where we're
introduced. She won an Oscar for
nothing. This film.
I'm not an award person. I don't
she should have. I think she won some international awards for this, but nothing in America. This film was
like the Australian Oscar.
Yeah, okay. I think she won stuff like that.
It's an Australian film, correct? It's not an American film.
I'm not sure. I would have to look into that. I'm not sure on that. I know it's a Sony film, but I know it was not that successful over here. It didn't lose money or anything like that, but it's not a blockbuster.
Ethan Hawke is an amazing actor who is never going to, unfortunately, pull the crowds in on his name because, you know what? I don't know why.
Yeah.
He's not he's not a bad looking dude. If you're,
he is the modern Kevin Bacon.
I mean, they kind of look alike, I guess.
No, I don't mean it like that. I mean in their box office poll.
I mean, they kind of look alike, I guess.
They are leading man actors that are very successful. They get a lot of work, but for whatever reason, and everybody likes their work, they're likable people. But
And Ethan Hawke's been in so many great movies.
Yeah, but it's just people go see their movies. They don't not do good in the box office, but they're never blockbusters. They are never
Not your tentpole
right
movies.
But I also think that's probably partially due to the types of projects they take, because you don't really see Ethan Hawke, hopping into superhero movies or action movies. When he does do action movies, they're David Ayer crime dramas that are super gritty and violent. He's usually a undercover narcotics officer. Yeah, or you have stuff like that. Or the Before Sunset trilogy.
He was in some things early on as a child.
Explorers. That was how I first knew about him.
River.
Mm-hmm. Same with River. Yeah, that was probably the first time I saw River as well.
Stand By Me for me.
Yeah, I definitely saw Explorers before I saw Stand By Me.
But
yeah,
I mean, but Ethan Hawke was great in this movie.
He's fantastic.
But I'm serious, the runaway star.
Oh, she's great. But whenever it does cut to him, I'm not upset. I'm just like I wanted more of that, but you cut away right at the right moment, though. I'm not upset that there wasn't more. I just want more of those characters. Right. But yeah, Ethan Hawke, I think he was awesome, and this is probably one of his standout roles. This and Gattaca, I'm putting at probably the top of the list for him.
With
Training Day is up there too.
I'll put. Training Day is a great movie, but I put Daybreakers over Training Day for an Ethan Hawke movie.
For a movie, yes. For a performance, I'm not sure.
Oh, there's not as much to perform, I guess, on the Daybreakers movie. But.
Yeah, but no. And speaking of Daybreakers, same guys, same team that did that did Predestination.
It's a ride. It's a wild. All right. So the bar scene.
Yeah.
So since we're on spoilers, just open with the bar scene.
Yeah.
I'm glued.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start learning about the hops.
Well, you do get that scene, the cold open with the bomb.
Okay.
You do get that right off the bat, so you get some action right off the bat. There's a brief little fight scene, and then bomb blows up in the guy's face. His face is burned off, basically. And then he does the time travel. They're doing facial reconstruction on him, and then it's revealed, oh, this is Ethan Hawke. This is our lead. Okay. That's how we're introduced to him. Okay, this is a new face for him. He doesn't even recognize himself. And then you get into the bar scene where he's posing as a bartender.
For me, I'll be honest. I never really like when movies jump straight into action. Because for me, it's kind of like, at least when there's characters involved. As a kid, sure, I was enthralled with the beginning of Star Wars. You start out with things shooting at each other and it's exciting, but for the most part, as an adult, and especially if I'm reading, if I pick up a book and the first couple paragraphs are, and he was running as fast as he could down the alley, trying to avoid them. He and them and cool. You're giving me a bunch of things that I don't have context for. I don't feel for your character.
Right.
I don't care that they're in danger. I can see that they're in danger. Fine, you built the suspense that someone is in danger, but
it builds the mystery. And then, for me, that's kind of where it is. It's your execution of that. If you start off with something like that, and there is a lot of mystery, there is no context to that, then it should be done like Chris Nolan does most of his films, where you have that piece which is like, right in the beginning of the third act. You show that in the beginning, and then your story is about getting to that point to understand the context of that moment, and then
that
to take you.
That happens in this movie.
Yes, and for time travel movies, I never have an issue because it's just like, all right.
No, and that's what I was going to say is that normally I'm not. That kind of turns me off, but
right.
With this, it ends up working.
Right, on both levels for me. Yeah.
The script writing.
It's such a tightly written script. Like, this was my third or fourth viewing of this movie when I rewatched.
First, I've only watched it once. I need to go back and watch it a second time, actually.
Yeah. And I did not notice much the first time. Any really issues. There were some questions I had. Second time I watched it, oh, okay, all those are answered. Oh, but I do have some questions on these things. Third time, oh, okay, all right.
That's probably why I need to rewatch it, I don't know about, okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's so good. There's very few movies that are this well written, in my opinion, that are just, everything is built into the film, and it's all there for you. You just got to look for it. Not going to hold your hand. It's not hard to understand, but
and
it's going to require you to work a little bit.
So the character's journey.
Sarah's.
From a pretty young lady.
Well, yeah, so we're introduced to this character in the bar. Facial hair, dressed like a man, talks like a man, all intents and purposes is a man. Is talking to Ethan Hawke. He's the bartender, and kind of basically makes him a bet to tell him the most interesting story he can. And so he starts it off, and he's just like, well, when I was a young girl. And it's just like, oh, okay, this is going to be an interesting story.
Great.
Right off the bat. And even Ethan Hawke, his character is just like, I'm sorry, what? Okay, all right, go on. And, yeah, they... Basically, she was, what, an orphan? She was dropped off at a young age at the orphanage. She was always different from the other girls, always stronger, always smarter than all of them, but never fit in, and was always top of her class. Went into like this, like, wasn't NASA, but it was a space program. I forget the name of it, and running through all that, everything was going well, and then she didn't get the position, right? Or it was still in the holding period.
Bad news.
Yeah. So, well, what was the bad news? I'm mixing things up in my head right now, actually. There.
Wasn't the bad news that she wasn't able to conceive? There was something wrong with her girl parts, something like that. Wasn't there some type of issue with that?
I thought that was later, after she met the guy.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because I can't remember if she didn't get...
I get it all twisted.
Right, yeah, it's a time travel movie. But I think the order goes, and I can't remember exactly if she didn't get the space program or if it was like, okay, we really like you, we're really interested, we'll call you, kind of thing. And it was that period, and she was still going to school, and she bumps into a guy. And then after that is when I think the problem happens. So yeah, she meets this guy. They hit things off right away.
John, right?
I think it was John. Yeah. And she was Jane, right?
Mm-hmm.
John and Jane. And yeah, so they hit things off. You never see his face during this whole time. All these flashbacks and everything. It's just her telling the story, and basically they fall in love. She loses her virginity to him, and then he just disappears one day. He tells her that he'll be right back, and he's just gone. And after that, she realizes she's pregnant. I think there's complications with the pregnancy. The baby is born, but while they're like fixing her up is when they realize that there's problems, and that she has both sex, both genitalia.
Intersex, I believe that's called.
Yeah, and they're both fully, or the male side was less functional, but it was fully operational, but it was just not working because it had never been used, basically, and that due to complications in the surgery that in the childbirth, her female parts were not going to be working anymore, and that
and then the baby disappears.
Yeah, baby's just taken out of the hospital, just snatched in the middle of the night. Nurse turned her back for a moment.
Disappeared. Gone.
Yep, just gone. Said she saw a man.
Yep.
Nondescript.
Stuff of nightmares.
Mm-hmm. And
so this is obviously not taking place in modern day.
Yes, this is what 80s or 70s, maybe even earlier.
Yeah, I was thinking from
60s?
The time period, maybe mid to late 60s.
Okay.
From hairstyles and things like that, maybe.
Yeah. Just with everything. Well, yeah, no, because I think the 0 point.
80s.
I think 0 point was in the 80s. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. So yeah, it would be in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s at the most. And maybe over the course of her story, it expands that time period. But yeah. So basically, she starts going through hormonal therapy and becomes John. She had named the baby Jane, try to keep the name in the family, but that was taken from her. And then, long story short, she basically ends up in that bar, and that's the end of her story. There's a couple other points, but they're not too relevant, I think, with like her trying again with the program, but like I can't think of if there's anything else that was really important.
Her?
Yeah, when she is the Jane. Man, yeah, or as John, the John part of her story.
Well, I mean, eventually.
Well, no, like as she's telling the story of the story.
I think that's about it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So at that point, Ethan Hawke basically is like, okay, well, does he doesn't come full out and tell her. He I forget what he says exactly, but he gets John to come with him, and basically, I think it's he's gonna. That's right. He says he brings up that bomber, that's been going around, and says that he believes that her ex is the one that is the bomber, and that there's a chance I could use your help. Do you want to have a chance at vengeance here?
Right.
And so basically take the two of them, go into the back room, they grab his briefcase, which has already been shown as the time travel device, and they jump back. And it's that day at the college, that's that first day that she met him, and so John's out there, he's got a gun, he's waiting and looking for the guy, and she bumps into him. Jane bumps into him, says the words that she first said to this guy, and John realizes that he is that guy.
He's Jane's lover.
Yes, he is the father of his own child and the mother of his own child. And
he impregnates himself.
Yes. But what I found most interesting, especially upon rewatches, is those two, Jane and John's chemistry. They are the strongest characters. Whenever they are on screen together, they're the heart of this movie.
Oh yeah.
Like both sides are fantastic performances, and it's insane that it's all her. It's all Sarah Snook.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Like,
oh gosh, she's so good.
I guarantee you, if you've watched a couple of our things I've already talked about, and I wanted to watch this because I found out Dan Stevens was in it. From here on out, if somebody says Sarah Snook is in this movie, I'm going to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just put it on.
Mm-hmm. No, she's one of those actresses, yeah. I didn't realize that she was in that show. I need to go finish that show.
And it was just on the tip of my tongue, and then you talked about
Compulsion?
No.
Recession?
What?
Recession?
Succession.
Succession, that's it.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Okay. That sounds right. Yeah, that.
With Brian Cox.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen the first couple episodes. I need to finish that. But yeah, getting back to this. So I don't even know what to say from here. Like, there's just so much going on.
Go?
Yeah. All right. So Ethan Hawke travels in time to go pick up the baby, swipes it right out.
The baby's got to be taken out.
Yep, because that baby's got to get dropped off in front of the orphanage to start the cycle.
Become Jane.
Mm-hmm. And so
at this point, I was like, wait a minute. So Jane
and John.
Jane grows up to meet a future male version of herself to get pregnant, to have Ethan Hawke take the baby and take it back in time to a certain point in time, just so she can meet John later in life, and then eventually become John.
Yep.
And then John can travel back in time. It's the name of the movie.
Mm-hmm. It's Predestination.
They're stuck in these loops.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then it's revealed a little bit later that
the loop's bigger.
Yep.
Than you think.
John is Ethan Hawke's character.
Mm-hmm.
That's John's face was the one that was burnt off in the beginning, and is now Ethan Hawke. So in that,
John is the bomber,
right? And John's also the bomber. But what I really appreciated is that first scene when Ethan Hawke,
not as John.
Right. Yes. But that scene where Ethan Hawke first sees his new face and he's looking at it at that first time, and he's just got that shock and realization kind of coming over him. And it's just like, oh.
You've met me before.
Yeah, just like, it all makes sense now. And
I've met me before.
Mm-hmm.
Twice now.
Mm-hmm.
Twice now.
And
I impregnated myself earlier, and now I remember having a conversation with me in a bar.
And in a couple moments, I'm going to be listening to a message recorded by my future self, left for myself, telling me that I need to go kidnap from my younger self my baby form of myself so I can travel back in time with it and start this whole cycle. All the meanwhile, Ethan Hawke is doing some doing some loops on his own. He's doing some jumps trying to catch the bomber and put a stop to this on his own.
Right.
Not supposed to do unsanctioned jumps.
No, because as they put it in the movie, each time you make a jump, you leave a little bit of yourself behind. Therefore, the more times you jump, you start to lose your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've left a little bit of your sanity, a little bit of your mental capacity behind each time that you've made these jumps. Which is why the suitcase is only supposed to work a certain amount of times.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's supposed to do these things and then deactivate it.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, he's supposed to do these things and it deactivates itself once he does these things.
Right, but I mean, like, well, he had a mission to do.
Right.
Once he's done with the mission, the suitcase is supposed to deactivate itself.
Yep. And this is the final part of his mission.
But it doesn't.
Yep, it doesn't.
And so you see that light bulb go off in his head, like,
This is his chance. He can stop
I have the One Ring.
Mm-hmm.
I can do good with it.
And he jumps and finds the bar. And it's himself. Again.
It's him. Again. Surprise. Except this time we get just old Ethan Hawke.
Right. Who basically is going on.
Sarah, she's
well, and I love that his motivation, too, is like, I'm not. I saved, yes, I may have killed a couple hundred people there, but I saved thousands here. Right. I destroyed this building, which was the site of a future, more deadly incident. So, and it's just like, you can't... Okay, in the rules of this world, with the way that everything works, it's hard to fault that logic. He's from another timeline, potentially, and then maybe it goes further back. Maybe each cycle is different, but it's all the same loop in the end.
It was a mind fuck.
Well, the craziest thing, though...
Memento.
Yeah.
Prestige.
One Cut of the Dead.
I mean, I like One Cut of the Dead. I don't know if I put it on the level of a mind fuck.
I'd put it on this mind fuck of a full story that comes full round the entire way.
Sure, I was cheering on that. On both Memento and Prestige. I was like, what?
Okay.
What? But One Cut of the Dead, I was literally like cheering on my bed.
Fair enough.
Yes. Let's do this. I love that.
Oh,
I we definitely talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
The first 42 minutes, man, I was just... Man, I'm not liking you right now. I was so upset, bro. And then it all turned around.
Oh, yeah. It's
the Predestination...
Never had
There's
those...
never a moment that I wasn't... What's going on?
Right.
What's going on next?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Where are they going with that?
Mm-hmm.
Absolute genius.
Oh, yeah.
Genius.
Yeah. And every part of the story, it's just so interwoven within itself that, like... I feel like this was a film that they wrote in this way, because I feel like Daybreakers was kind of hacked apart by the studio a little bit. I feel that they had to remove some things from it. So they wrote this film in a way that it was impossible to take anything out.
If you edit this 30 seconds less than we've typed this out,
it ain't gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah. This is the movie, and this is the only way it can be. And one thing that I just kind of want to bring up, it's based on a short story by Richard Matheson called All You Zombies. I gotta say, by that title, I would not expect this movie.
Oh.
No, definitely a good thing they renamed it for the film. Predestination is a much better title for this.
Die, repeat.
Yes, yes, something like that.
Edge of Tomorrow is much better.
Yes, not than this movie, but much better than
a much better title than Live, Die, Repeat.
Yes, and a much better title for the movie as well. Yes. Yeah, this is so good.
Please go watch this movie.
Yeah,
and then tell more people.
Yes,
about this movie,
but not much about it.
Yes. Direct them to this video.
Yes.
Tell them to turn it off immediately at the end of the non-spoiler part. That's what you should tell them to do.
Yes.
Don't even tell them about it. Just tell them to come watch the end of the video. That's what you should do.
That is the best thing you can do. But
all the cool kids come here to find out about the movies.
Right. But I don't know. Is there anything else that we can talk about on this?
I mean, it's pretty. It's well acted.
Oh yeah.
It's superbly written.
Really cool shots are done throughout it too. A lot of cool like top-down angles and just unique shots.
It didn't need a $200 million special effects budget.
No, I think it was done like budget of 20 or 30 million. I think it was basically Ethan Hawke's budget and the little bit of special effects they had, which is not much. It's basically a little little pyrotechnics.
I assume. I don't know. But
I think those were real pyrotechnics.
No, I just mean like half of the movie, half of the backdrops could be 100% CGI. And
oh yeah, no.
But no,
it feels like it's a real sets though. That's another thing. It's a very tangible film. It feels like you're really there with these characters.
Grimy. It's gritty.
And that you need that in your world. But yeah,
it's there.
Yeah, but yeah, no, this. And then Noah Taylor as the I forget what his title was, the boss. Yeah, he was really good as well. Yeah, I don't know if he like, because he knows so much.
I think he knows everything.
So he's just letting it continue in the loop.
Why not?
Yeah,
that's his.
Maybe that's his job, is to maintain that loop is going on, or all of the different loops are going on.
I'll think of it this way:
because there wouldn't be an organization just for this one man. So who else is out there too?
But think of it: we're focused the entire movie on the various forms of Jane, John.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that loop may have to continue for reasons that we never see on screen.
True, yeah.
Just because we see those people interacting with themselves the entire time, they still interact with other people in their daily lives, and things that they do still affect other people.
Mm-hmm.
So, they may have to stay in that loop to make sure that some interaction that they've had with somebody we never even see on screen still happens, because that person interacts with this person, who interacts with this person.
Fair enough.
The butterfly effect may be the whole reason that he's caught in this loop.
Or I would argue, maybe. Well, yeah, but preventing
6
the
degrees of separation. Well, no, just because we see the interaction between Jane and John doesn't mean that John never goes to work and never says a kind word to somebody. And because he says a kind word to that person, they're in a good mood that day. And because they're in a good mood that day, they've said this to this person and gave them some information instead of being a dick to them, which allowed this to happen, which somehow put Neil Armstrong on the moon. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
This chain of events that started because John was nice to somebody or did something, helped somebody cross the street, something, you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
So there can be a reason that this character is predetermined to be stuck in this loop that we never see on screen.
Fair enough.
And that's kind of how I took it, was we're not being allowed to see the bigger picture.
No, we're just seeing
a microcosm of what this time travel
Jane
does.
John's story.
Right.
We don't know how many others there are in this organization.
He's purposely given a device that can continually loop.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has to be stuck in this loop.
Mm-hmm.
He, depending on what.
Yeah.
When in the timeline we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. No, good point.
That was what I thought about at the end of the movie. Like I said, cerebral movie.
Yeah.
It made me think.
Yeah. No, it's. But you're not.
It wasn't Bill and Ted Time Travel.
No.
Although it kind of. I mean, they do leave messages for themselves.
They do, but it's also, it's not Primer either.
No.
I don't need to pull out graphs and charts explaining what loop we're on at any given point in the story.
We were here, but then we started the machine there, and then we started here, which brought that machine here, and when we came back, we were here, Man, that whole scene, I was like,
What?
hold on. I went and got it. Not to talk. I shouldn't talk about another movie right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, especially something like that. But no, it was not. It was not Primer. It was not crazy confusing.
But I would say it's in the ballpark. It's like
It's not Back to the Future either.
no, yeah. I would say it's in the Inception vein of like, oh, okay, high concept, but easy to grasp. But it's gonna make me question and think.
The first Matrix.
The first Matrix, yes. Total Recall to an extent. It's it may be a weird one, but it's still the film never answers if he's
Total Recall.
The original. Yeah, neither one answer it, but the original is much better. But yeah,
That's funny. I mean, as much as I grew up with that movie and I love that movie, I actually really liked the remake.
I did too. I think the remake was
It made more sense to me.
Yeah.
Like I could buy that story more than I could buy the other. But again, we're talking about another movie,
right?
But no, with this movie, I mean, keep doing that.
Yeah.
But no, with this movie, it all worked.
Mm-hmm. It just super tightly knit, wound script. No fluff whatsoever.
Nope, everything's essential.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, no, just highly recommend this.
Please.
Yeah. And if you have seen this, please let us know what you thought of this. I really want to talk to some other people that have seen this. And
Comment below.
yes. Or if you know of other movies like this that are on this level of time travel, or any other sci-fi films that are of this high concept, please send them my way. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate this. If you like this video, give it a like, and definitely subscribe for more content like this. But stay safe all. Bye.